All right, man. They always be cutting me off on the thing. Feel me? I hope everybody can tap back in, man. I try to share this. I'll try to share this one more time. Let's see. There we go. Sorry about that, y'all. I got hit with the ooh wop. You feel me? But basically to wrap up the one I was reading, it says, resolve to speak of no man or woman in no other way unless you speak of good qualities of that man or woman. That no one ever gained happiness out of injuring the feelings or character of someone else. And no one ever failed to get happiness by speaking well of other people. Those two lines is deep. No one ever gained happiness out of or character of someone else. And no one fails to get happiness by speaking well of other people. That's deep. That's deep. So, say that to say, let's be very careful with how we speak to each other. If we can't speak the positive things, let's try to, you know what I mean? The other thing I wanted to read real quickly. Yes. Yes. Perfect. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There it is. All right. So we back. We back. Sorry that I was. Oh man. Archivino, I'm being as patient as I can. Again, I'm saying, and this is for anyone and everyone. If you are not interested in learning on the divine or the spiritual side or the religious side of this movement, it's that's your choice. You can make your choice and live with it. I'm just saying this space is for those who are seeking to grow. You know what I mean? And seeking to develop themselves further spiritually. So if you would be so kind as to leave this space so that we can foster this energy for ourselves and grow for ourselves. If you're willing to be a part of it, it's all good. But if you are in opposition, then I would just ask, come back another time, because this isn't really the space for that. Thank you. I wanted to read this other one real quick, and then we're gonna get into this real quick. The Holy Quran, Circle 7. This excerpt, though, is coming from, again, Moorish Science Temple of America, Moorish literature. Boom, right there. All right. Excuse the dirtiness. We've been using this to study for real. Just so you don't think I'm bogus. You know what I mean? I ain't bogus out here. I ain't front. The Moorish Science Temple of America. The Moorish Science Temple of America was founded by Prophet Noble Ali. Aside from the fact that it is a legally organized religious corporation, it is building on human needs. To this desirable end, in time, legitimate means will be found to dispense charity and provide for the mutual assistance of its members in times of distress, to aid in the improvement of health, and to encourage the ownership of better homes, to find employment for our members, to teach those fundamental principles which are desired for our civilization, such as obedience to law, respect and loyalty to government, tolerance and unity. How powerful is that sentence? The Moorish Science Temple of America was designed to help our members find better employment, to own better homes, to improve our health, to teach fundamental principles, Loyalty and respect to government, law. Come on, man. Tolerance and unity. That's key. That's key. We're going to get to that in a second. It is most earnestly hoped that the Moorish Science Temple of America will not in any way be confused with any Back to Africa movement. Such is not important insofar as American citizens of our group colonizing Africa are concerned. We of the Moorish Science Temple of America, like countless other American citizens, know that we must live together here in America in harmony, friendship, and goodwill, whatever our race and creed may be. It is only from a purely religious standpoint, seems that we differ from a large number of our fellow Americans. We believe and foster the Muslim religion. We believe in the principles of its teachings insofar as they can be adapted to American life. We feel that the Christian religion is all right, prefer it. We feel that the Christian religion is all right for those that prefer it. This is coming from Noble Drew Ali, not Rami Salam El. Okay? We feel that the Christian religion is all right for those that prefer it. Remember what I said? Moorish Science Temple of America is teaching the fundamental principles of tolerance and unity. In America, religious freedom is guaranteed to all under the Constitution. We are interested in freeing ourselves and our children from the greatest plight. The greatest plight is economic slavery. Let me read that again. We of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Moorish Americans, we believe we are interested in freeing ourselves and our children from the greatest plight, economic slavery. We believe this can be done best by encouraging, patronizing, and establishing our own business enterprises, and cultivating our own acres of land. I mean, come on, man. Lays it out. We welcome into our folds men and women of our group of all sections, all trades, occupations, and professions of sound mind and good character. We are friends and servants of humanity. We are friends and servants of humanity, not of just Moors, not of black people, not of just Africans. Servants of humanity. Come on, man. We are dedicated to the purpose of elevating the moral, social, and economic status of our people. We have set about to do this through a wide and comprehensive program embodying the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. All right there. Man, Noble Drew Ali is something else, man. Come on, man. So I read that to be clear. All right. Let me get this person out of here. There we go. Hopefully that Alchavino person gone now. I read that to be very clear that we are not to be attacking Christians. We're not to be attacking people that follow the religion of Christianity. We are not to be attacking Jesus. That's not what our mission is. That's not what our priority is. We got to free ourselves from our greatest plight, which is economic slavery. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Come on, man. Got to have more tolerance and unity. So with that, now let me get back to the Quran, Circle 7. We're going to get into this thing real quick. I want to read. Where did I want to read from? Should have marked the page down. Just one moment. Got to get my page right. Got to get my pages right. Matter of fact, let's just go with the beginning of Christianity. That sounds like a good place to read. Since we on that height. Talking about Jesus. Talking about Jesus. Do you know of Jesus? The beginning of Christianity. The foundation of Christianity began in Rome. The Roman nations founded the first church of whom crucified Jesus of Nazareth for seeking to redeem his people from under the Roman yoke and law. Jesus himself was of the true blood of the ancient Canaanites and Moabites and the inhabitants of Africa. And Moors are descendants, the ancient descendants of Moabites, just so we're clear. So, if Jesus himself was of the true blood of the ancient Canaanites and Moabites, and you are calling yourself, or you know that you're a Moor, understand that your ancient ancestor, Jesus, seeking to redeem his people in those days from the pressure of the pale-skinned nations of Europe, Rome crucified him according to their law. Then Europe had peace for a long time, until Muhammad I came upon the scene and fulfilled the works of Jesus of Nazareth. The holy teaching of Jesus was to the common people, to redeem them from under the great pressure of the hands of the unjust, that the rulers and the rich would not oppress the poor, and that the lion and the lamb may lay down together, and neither would be harmed when morning came. These teachings were not accepted by the rulers, nor the rich, because they loved the principles of the 10 Commandments. Through the 10 Commandments, the rulers and the rich live, while the poor suffer and die. The lamb is the poor people. The lion is the rulers and the rich. And through love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, all men are one and equal to seek their own destiny and to worship under their own vine and fig tree, after the principles of the holy and divine laws of their forefathers. All nations of the earth in these modern days are seeking peace, but there is but one true and divine way that peace may be obtained in these days, and it is through love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, being taught universally to all nations in all lands. I kind of actually want to ask a question real quick. I want to ask y'all thoughts on what, because I've said this line several times before, but I don't think I've ever asked. I don't think I've ever asked you, whoever's watching you, what do you feel this line means? I'm gonna read the line again, and I want to know your thoughts. It says, all nations of the earth in these modern days are seeking peace, but there's but one true and divine way that peace may be obtained in these days. So it's only one way that peace may be obtained, that you can get peace in these days. And it is through love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice being taught universally to all nations in all lands. So I'm wondering what you think, Moors, European brothers and sisters, whoever out there, you know what I mean? Brazilians, shout out my Brazilians, Chileans, you know what I mean? Ghanaians, Nigerians, what's happening? Whoever's out there. What do you think it means when it says love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice is to be taught universally to all nations in all lands? What does that mean to you? I would like to know know y'all thoughts. And if you're not live and you're watching this and like, oh man, I wish I could have said my piece, you can just put your comment in. You know what I mean? It's all good. Or you can email me at iamhhtemple@gmail.com. Once again, iamhhtemple@gmail.com. That's all one word. Oh, while we're on this topic, that's it. Yes. It's all coming together now. All right. Where we at? Shalom, Jamaica. Peace, Omar. Peace, Asiatic. Peace, Michael. Peace, Venus. Peace, Noble. Akil. Hope that's everybody. And the other people out there, peace. If you was on the other one and double back to this one, peace. I appreciate it. I wanted to touch on something real quick. The Quran rather. Another thing that, we may come across, or not we often will come across, is when we speak about Noble Drew Ali as being a prophet, that can be seen as offensive. And I don't know if the term is blasphemous, but it can be seen as going against what Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught. And that's that, for Muslims from the East, they feel that Prophet Muhammad is the last and final prophet, and that there was no prophets to come after Prophet Muhammad. So us calling Noble Drew Ali a prophet is, essentially saying, that we are saying that Prophet Muhammad was not correct, or, was I don't want to say lying, but was not correct in saying he was the last prophet. And I've done a video on this before, much more extensive in terms of, from the Quran perspective on how I feel about Prophet Muhammad being the last and final prophet. I don't want to get into that today. Rather, I would like for us to look at it from this perspective. And rather than, especially Muslim brothers and sisters that are out there that are Muslim in the sense that they follow Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the Quran, if you could look at it from the example of, let's examine the information and see if it is in alignment before you just dismiss this idea of this man named Noble Drew Ali being a prophet. I understand if you do dismiss it and you don't want to hear it. I also feel in doing that, you are kind of, you're almost emulating, the Christians or brothers and sisters who are Christian that would dismiss Prophet Muhammad and Allah without even, reading the Quran, and dismiss Prophet Muhammad as being a prophet without any knowledge of his life, without doing any research about the brother. You know what I mean? And I feel that just as it's wrong for people who are Christian to dismiss Prophet Muhammad as being a prophet and dismiss the divinity in the Quran, I think it's also, it is also not, it's not helpful, or it is not respectful to dismiss Noble Drew Ali and the information that he brought and him being divine and a prophet without doing some research into the information. And so with all of that being said, in the Quran that Noble Drew Ali brought, which is different, just so we're clear, if you're just now chiming in, there's the Quran. This was brought by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and Muslims back in the 600s. And 600s moving to the 700s, I believe. And then this is the Holy Quran Circle 7, which was brought by Noble Drew Ali in the 1900s. This book is much shorter, okay? It's only dealing with a very small part of Jesus's life. It is not in any way, shape, or form trying to be superior to the Quran or taking its place or discrediting. And I think the best way to show that is to literally go to the chapter that's called religion. And that's what I would humbly ask any Muslim, any brother and sister who is Muslim, who knows Muslims, that may be willing to even hear this, to ask them to read the chapter on religion first, and then let's go from there. Because I think if you do that, it's very clear that Noble Drew Ali is in line and actually validating, not to say that it's needed, but it's further confirmation that Prophet Muhammad was really a prophet, and that the Quran is divine, and that so also is Jesus and Confucius and Buddha, and that we have to realize that all of these prophets are real. But let me read the chapter on religion real quick. There is but one Allah, the author, the creator, the governor of the world, almighty, eternal, and incomprehensible. The sun is not Allah, though his noblest image. He enlightened the world with his brightness. His warmth giveth life to the products of the earth. Admire him as the creature, the instrument of Allah, but worship him not. That's very clear. We do not worship Noble Drew Ali. Noble Drew Ali, very clear. Moorish Americans do not worship Noble Drew Ali. To the one who is supreme, most wise and beneficent, and to him alone belong worship, adoration, thanksgiving, and praise. Let me read that last line over. To the one who is supreme, most wise and beneficent, to him alone belong worship, adoration, thanksgiving, and praise. So we are only worshiping one. It's only one that deserves praise and thanksgiving. It's only one who is most wise. It's only one creator of the world, of the heavens and the earth. Allah. Now, and this is the first 3 lines in the chapter on religion. And I humbly feel that if our Muslim brothers and sisters would just read this, or if, we could build on this point, I find that I feel that we could create much stronger bonds between us, and understand that this isn't in competition with Prophet Muhammad or any of the teachings, that this actually confirms, and it blends together so beautifully. I just think that it takes time and a little bit of humility and some love and compassion to hear and understand, really. And with that, I think I'm done for a second. I did want to, I'm pretty sure that there's some people on here that were wondering if I was going to be talking about the Supreme Grand Council, the Moorish American Consulate, the Consular course. I'm sure some folks around there. So I said, let me touch on that for a second. But before I get to that, I just wanted to know if there was any other questions you had in regards to the spirituality side of the movement, or the Quran Circle 7. So let me see that real quick before we get to that stuff. Noble Akil, Jesus was a living, breathing man. What makes you think that he wasn't? If people study etymon, they would know the true definition of prophet. That's very true, Asiatic Afran. Very true. Peace, Michael. No other questions? Okay. If there's no other questions, to completely answer your question, Noble Akil. Excuse me. From my studies, seems very clearly that Jesus, Isa, was a real human being. Many people make the claims that he was not, but I just don't agree with those claims. But I think the bigger distraction is fighting or debating over whether or not he was a real human being. That's where we get lost and we miss the message. Because the message that he brought, that all the prophets brought, is the real key. But we are so caught up in the flesh, and we're so caught up in the human side of things, that we seem to be missing that part. All right, so doesn't look like there's any other questions. So in that case, let me touch on the Supreme Grand Council thing just for a second. Well, the larger point is this. The larger point that I want to make is this. Is that this movement isn't a game. These teachings are for real. It's not just some school of thought. It's not just some doctrine that you can pick up and use as a tool to make your money or hustle or finesse. And, it's all good. It's just like any of the other stuff out here. You know what I mean? It's not really a big deal. No, it's a real big deal. And I want to read this section to you from the chapter of religion, just so that we understand what's going on. Oh, praise his goodness with the sons of thanksgiving, and meditate in silence on the wonders of his love. Let thy heart overflow with gratitude and acknowledgement. Let the language of thy lips speak praise and adoration. Let the actions of thy life show thy love to his law. Allah is just and righteous, and will judge the earth with equity and truth. Hath he established his laws in goodness and mercy? And shall he not punish the transgressors thereof? This is key. Line 25. O think not, bold man, because thy punishment is delayed, that the arm of Allah is weakened. Neither flatter thyself with the hopes that he winketh at thy doings. His eye pierceth the secrets of every heart, and he remembereth them forever. He respecteth not the persons or the stations of men. The high and the low, the rich and the poor, the wise and the ignorant, when the soul hath shaken off the cumbrous shackles of this mortal life, shall equally receive from the sentence of just and everlasting retribution according to their works. Now, I read this. I read this to be clear, so that people, bless you, so that people understand this is not something to play with. It's people that are claiming to be Supreme Grand Council members. It's people that are claiming to be, Moorish Americans that are, here to help humanity. That they're Moorish American Muslims and saying praise Allah and honors the Prophet Noble Ali. And those people are lying. They are, it's some people that are lying, that are being dishonest, that are manipulating others for fame, for money. There are people that are misleading people and getting people involved into activities that will bring harm to them and their families. And these people, I think, believe that it's all good because, ain't nobody going to jail for this. Ain't nobody going to prosecute me for this. You know what I mean? It's nobody that's going to run up on me because I'm a Moorish American. We got to be about love. So it's all good. And even beyond, like, just the idea of thinking that you can do something wrong to someone, you can do something that is not righteous, not correct, not right and exact, and you think that you got away with it just because you didn't receive the retribution or the punishment right then. And so I've said several times, and I'll say it again, like, you can play with the movement and you can play with this information and Noble Drew Ali and us being Moors. You can play if you want to play. But I'm saying to you very carefully, clearly, you will receive your karma and your just due. Everyone will. It ain't no shaking this. It ain't no finessing your way up out of this. So my suggestion, the advice that I'm going off of and I try to share with people, don't play with this movement. If you're not sincere, if you're not genuine, just be quiet. Go do something else. Go, use a different scheme or some different scam. Don't do it with this for your own sake. Because at the end of the day, man, we all got to own up to our own actions. But I tell you what, I'm not going to be in trouble. You know what I mean? I'm not going to receive no retribution, no punishment for misleading the people. Not with this. And it's not going to be something where Allah going to be like, hey, man, you seen people was doing the wrong thing. Why you ain't say nothing? I'm saying something. There's people in this movement that wear feathers and turbans, say praise Allah, praise Noble Drew Ali, Islam Moors, what's up, family? There's people that say all of that, and their actions are the complete opposite. The actions show they're not praising Allah. They're not honoring Noble Drew Ali. They don't love Moors. It's not peace with Moors. And they believe that they're going to get away with these things because, ain't nothing happened to them so far. They done seen plenty of other people pull the same hustle, so hey, why not me too? All right. That being said, speaking more specifically on the Supreme Grand Council. I feel that it's very telling of this movement and of the people that claim to be Moorish leaders that I'm the only one, at least publicly, making videos consistently speaking about the Supreme Grand Council issue. I think it says a lot about our movement and a lot about the sincerity of others. Because one thing that is well known in this movement is Moors are supposed to study. Study to show yourself approved. Study. More is about presenting the information, presenting the facts and law. And what I realized in speaking about the Supreme Grand Council is that here I am doing the very thing that I was taught, studying, presenting the facts, presenting the law, And many Moors which I studied under when I came into this movement, are unwilling to even address the issue from a serious perspective, a critically thinking and analytical perspective. Ask yourself, why is there no other Moorish people creating Supreme Grand Council videos? I'm not saying you have to agree with everything I say. I'm saying this is the information that Noble Drew Ali put out. I'm just presenting it to the public. How come no one else is even willing to do that? Even put their position on the record very clearly for people to know? Why is that? For me, one, I wasn't sure initially, but now, 3-4 years into this, I feel that part of the reason is people are just afraid. People are scared, and that's not something new. It's not like it's impossible for Moors to be scared. Moors are scary too. I was scary about wearing my fez outside, having people look at me crazy. So I understand there's some fear, but I also, having dialogue with some people that are claiming to be Supreme Grand Council members, or claiming to be, with the main temple, or claiming to be an official within the Moorish Science Temple of America. Now I feel that there's also a portion of people, there's also some Moors that are intentionally trying their best to not speak on this topic. And the reason is because it implicates them. It implicates the people that have been claiming to be leaders. And it shows the hypocrisy, and I understand and I recognize that it's hard for human beings, for anyone, to admit when they're wrong, admit when we made mistakes, admit when we're being a hypocrite. It's not an easy thing. I get it. The main thing for me, though, is that this isn't about me. This isn't about you. This isn't about individuals. This is about uplifting fallen humanity. This is about freeing ourselves as a nation of people. And so we don't have the time. This is no time for playing games. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what frustrates me a lot, is that there are people that are still playing games with this movement and still trying to keep this as some sort of club, secret society club, religious thing. And that's not what it is at all. And, truthfully, those people have to step aside. Those people have to remove themselves because they're not qualified, and they have shown through their actions that they are not dedicated to this movement in the way that they're supposed to be in that official capacity. But the biggest thing is, it's not going to change with just me speaking on it. I've begun now, when people ask me about the Supreme Grand Council, and, well, why aren't you doing this, Rami? And what people have you spoken to? And when people start questioning me, I immediately ask them, which people have you asked? Which videos have you made? Which articles have you written? What are you doing to bring attention to this issue? And 9 times out of 10, they say, well, I haven't done anything yet, but, and the other person is usually someone that doesn't respond to the question. And I say that to say, I need to speak about the Supreme Grand Council. I need you to ask all the Moors that you've been studying under, all the Moors that you spend hours watching, excluding myself, if you do watch, not that big headed, but I'm saying, not including myself, any more that you've been studying and watching, simply ask, can you please do a video on the Supreme Grand Council? and put your perspective down so that we as a whole, as a society, as a community, as a nation, we can start to get some clarity. Because I always hear people, we just need to come together. We just need to unite. We need to stop fighting and just get the work done. Well, where's the we in this? Because if you do a search for the Supreme Grand Council in YouTube or any other place, it's very slim. You know what I mean? The amount of people that's speaking on it. Don't believe me. Look it up for yourself. You know, and really use a critical mind and think about, why haven't they responded? Why haven't they made a video? They're able to make videos about, quick deed, or putting a lien on a house, or how to get out of taxes, or this people are, the Nation of Islam is doing the wrong thing, and this person is wrong, and that person is wrong, and this person ain't doing it right, and this, that. They can make videos about every other thing, 2-3 hour videos, but no one can make a 30-minute video breaking down the Supreme Grand Council. Just Rami? I'm the only one that got this information? No. Is the Supreme Grand Council only apply to Rami? No. So why is Rami the only one speaking on it? Are other Moors scared? Maybe you should ask them that. Are they scared to speak on? Or maybe you should ask them in an honest way. Maybe, maybe they are being threatened. Maybe they can't speak on it because their lives are in danger. Maybe they can't speak on it because they're agents. Maybe they can't speak on it because they're ignorant and have no clue what the Supreme Grand Council is. But we won't find that out until you continue to ask them, because I keep asking. I keep mentioning it. Just my thoughts on the matter. Moorish World TV, Godman A. I've searched. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen any videos of his Taharka listed as Supreme Grand Council. I have heard him speak about the myth of the Supreme Grand Sheikh, which is something different. I also have seen him. Never mind that. But what I'm saying is, I would say for Taharka needs to create a video about the Supreme Grand Council and just go very simply read the documentation, read what Noble Drew Ali wrote on it, and then give your perspective. Cujo, read the Supreme Grand Council, give your perspective. Jamal, read and give your perspective. And see, what will happen then is that the community, all of you, the people, will be able to see where each person is thinking and their logic behind that. And then you will be able to discern who is being genuine and sincere and truly about the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, and who is just using that to manipulate people, to get fiat from, or money. You will see the deception. But as long as people stay quiet and in the shadows, it's easy to be like, well, I don't know. But see, once you put someone on the record, once they have spoken about it, then it's like, You see, like Jamal, that brother said that the Supreme Grand Council is the Congress for our nation. If the Supreme Grand Council is the Congress for our nation, then shouldn't we know who our Congress members are? And if the Supreme Grand Council is the Congress for our nation, shouldn't the Congress take more priority than a consular court, for example? But you see, that's my point. You got to push everyone to put the perspective on the table, to start speaking about this so that we can have a national discussion and so that we can clear this issue and move forward. Because if we don't, it'll only be confusion. You can hear something that I'm saying, you can hear something that whoever else is saying, and you can say, well, this person says this, that person says that. It seems like they're both right, so I don't know which is right. I don't know which Moorish temple is the real one, because these people are saying they have the charter, but these people are saying that all the other temples are 5013Cs, and these people are saying that I'm the only one that was from the lineage of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, so da 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 da. And how will you know which one is the correct one? How will you know? How will you be able to discern? How will there be? What is the authoritative voice to make that determination on what is correct and what is not correct? Who's the voice for that? The Supreme Grand Council. That's who the voice is. That's why there's so much confusion. That's why it's 3 different people now claiming to be the Supreme Grand Sheikh. Like, that doesn't even make sense. So we need you, the people, to bring this information. We need you to bring this issue to the leaders. Because again, let's be reminded that the leaders are servants to the people. They are working for the people, not the other way around. Tonis Atkins, Empress 90 of North Carolina, talks about this. Talks about the Supreme Grand Council. And if so, could you just drop a link to that video in the comment section, or email it to me, iamhhtemple@gmail.com. Would be greatly appreciated. Herman McKinney L. We've been studying the Supreme Grand Council for the past month in my temple, Temple 21 and much love, much respect. Forgive me, I'm ignorant of, who are the grand sheiks of people in temples or whatnot, but much love to all the members and Moors at Temple 21. If you've been studying a month on the Supreme Grand Council, that's really where it's at. We all have to study this. You know what I mean? I was explaining it to another person. It's like, because the thing is that we are supposed to be electing these people into the seats. You know what I mean? And it's just the same as the voting, within the US. And, how you can go cast your vote or whatever and just do it just because everyone's saying go out and vote. But if you are not really educated on the people that are running and what their responsibilities or duties will be, then your vote is really careless. And it's very, it has the potential to be very dangerous, because then you're just going along, people saying, yeah, I'm a vote, so I just need to vote. Yeah. And it's like, bringing it back to the Supreme Grand Council, for us, we need to get a clear understanding of what this is and what the responsibilities of the people in those seats will be before we start saying, yeah, this person, that person, they're the Supreme Grand Council. You know what I mean? Because we can't just be doing that out of ignorance. You know what I mean? That's how we stumble and we make a lot of mistakes. So we got to be better about that. So it's beautiful that you've been studying it for the past month. Godman A. That's why we have a Supreme Grand Council. But who are the ones that are in the Supreme Grand Council? That is the question. Many Moors know but won't put it out. See, and I've asked this for years now. I've asked who are the members of the Supreme Grand Council, the official members, current active members. I don't, based on my research and my studying, my investigations, I do not feel that there is an active Supreme Grand Council. And I feel that many Moors do not want to address this issue because then you have to address the fact that there is no active Supreme Grand Council and no members on the council. And to admit that is to also admit that we haven't been doing our jobs as the people, because we have to elect and confirm those people into those positions. So even though the leaders have have accountability and some blame, you know, a share of blame in terms of not being active with the council, we have a blame, I would say more of a blame as a people, because it's our duty to elect those people into the positions. And I think my feelings and my belief is that we just don't want to admit that we haven't been doing what we need to do, you know, and it's hard to take a good look at ourselves in the mirror. You know what I mean? People don't like to examine themselves because sometimes we look ugly. Sometimes we aren't as righteous and as honorable and as noble as we need to be and as we feel or believe ourselves to be. And so, we all, myself included, you know what I mean? I'm far from perfect, but we have to be honest and we have to deal with this issue because we are like the world around us, you know what I mean? Outside of this Moorish thing, it's a lot of things going on in the world right now. And if we don't get on the same page and moving correctly, it's going to be really bad for us and billions of other people. You know what I mean? Because we have a real responsibility. Word. Correct. The only active seat is the Supreme Grand Sheik. It's deep, man. Jonathan Scott Bay. I found out some information on the Supreme Grand Council. I found out it was 4 active members. And seeing you saying that, brother, peace, Jonathan Scott Bay. I appreciate that. I would like to know where you got that information, because man knows not by being told. But beyond that, even without finding, the source so I can read it for myself, I know that that statement shows that we are out of order, because it's supposed to be 7 men tried and true. So if we ain't got our 7 people on the Supreme Grand Council, we are not in order. And that's just the harsh truth of the matter. We need to get in order. It's okay to make mistakes and we need to improve, but we have to realize and fully accept our current condition. We can't keep pretending like, yeah, we got this all figured out and we just moving with this more stuff, and we aren't. Because the truth is, the people that do know about us and do see us and have been waiting for us, when they see us doing this and not being 100, not being real about, our situation, they start to look at us like a joke. You know what I mean? And we get dismissed because we not being truthful with ourselves. You know what I mean? And it shows. So I think that's my piece on the Supreme Grand Council. The Supreme Grand Council is not active. We lacking all around. The blame falls on us, period, the people. Us. And the key that I've been doing my best to repeat and say over, we need to speak about this. A national conversation. Us. It's not just the leaders. I keep saying that to emphasize that it's bigger than me. It's bigger than Cujo. It's bigger than Taj. It's bigger than any one individual Moorish American. And we have to get to that. We have to understand that by us sitting, if I didn't make the videos about the Supreme Grand Council, I would be just as guilty as the people that are claiming to be in the seats but not doing any work. Because if I see it's something, matter of fact, It just hit me. 1 second. Boom. 1 second. 1 second. Hold on. Hold justice right here. The peace of society depend on justice. The happiness of individuals on the safe enjoyment of all their possessions. The peace of the society depends on justice. Meaning, if we all want to feel happy and secure and at ease with our society and our nation, then we are all responsible for maintaining a level of justice. And by that, I'm not saying to take justice and the law into your own hands. That's not what I'm saying, but I am saying that we all have a duty to hold each other to a certain standard, and to challenge our brothers and sisters when we are not meeting that standard, especially when it's in an official position. And that's the real key. On a personal note, that's one thing. But this isn't just a personal note. When I'm speaking about Cujo, or I'm speaking about Taj, or any of the Moorish people that are claiming to be teachers and leaders and officials, the reason why I am specifically addressing them is because when you get into that position, just like myself, once you step into this position to be a teacher, to be a leader, to be a grand sheik, to be a consular general, when you step into those positions, there's a level, there's a standard that you have to hold yourself to, and also there is a standard that the people, us, the public, we have to hold them and each other to, and it's not even just the official leaders. When you call yourself a Moorish American, then you got to hold yourself to this standard. And I think that's the difference between when you're just Black or African American or Negro or a colored person, and when you're a Moorish American, or when you are Afghani, or when you are a Syrian. It's because there is some sort of standard that people can look at you and judge you from your own standard, and for us, in terms of justice, man, in terms of the peace of our society, we have to hold ourselves to the standard that Rami said, Noble Drew Ali. Noble Drew Ali brought us the law. Noble Drew Ali brought us this information. So we have to hold ourselves to that. We can't just ignore what Noble Drew Ali said and do what we want to do. It doesn't work like that. If you want to do that, you can do that as a Black person. You can do whatever you want to do. As an African American, you can do whatever you want to do. You have no standard. You have no principles that you live by and that people can judge you from. So you can do whatever you want. But as a Moorish American, there are certain standards that we have to live by. 5 of them. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, baby. Gotta come loving, but after that, it's the truth. Gotta be loving. But we gotta be truthful, right? Like, come on now. We got to be truthful. And so that's really what it's about, man. Being truthful. You know what I mean? Being loving, but we got to be truthful. That's where the peace and the freedom and the justice comes in. I think I've said enough. Is there anything else that y'all have to say? Assalamu alaikum. Salaikum salam. Echo. Peace, 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 brother. Oh man. I need to do another video of it to present it more formally. But please look up Hashimi. I forgot the sister's name. I apologize, but it's a Moorish sister who's Iranian who works for Press TV. If you just look up, Press TV journalist woman arrested by the FBI. I'm gonna make another video for it, so be on the lookout for it. But please educate yourself on that issue. The FBI basically kidnapped her. You know what I mean? It's not funny, but it's not. That's really what it was. Kidnapped her for 10 days under no charge. You know what I mean? And forced her to comply with things that were against her religion. She's Muslim, and what's key is they did that to a journalist, and we need to be aware of the implications of that action because it's very important. So just look out for the video. I'm gonna make that one very soon also. Oh, and that was the other thing that made me remind me. And much love to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who did an interview and brought light to this issue because there's not many outlets that are doing so, and we need to do our part also as Moorish Americans. So I just wanted to say shout out to the NOI and the good brothers that put that video together. Excuse me. Allah is right on time. Hey man, Akeem Miles Bay, wise man told me Allah is the best of planners. You know what I mean? The men plotting they plan and Allah plans. But Allah is the best of planners. You know what I mean? That's what I realized. So another wise man taught me that there are no strange happenings. That one moment the man taught me that excuse me for a second. The man taught me he taught me some things. Yeah. The man taught me it is no strange, there are no happenings. The law governs all events. That's what the man taught me. That's chapter 2 of the Holy Quran. Imperial lectures. Thank you, Noble. Now Moors know why I'm so hard on the consular courts. We have to hold one another to a higher standard. Ashe, Islam. Amen. Praise God. All of that. You know what I mean? All of that. Real talk. We got to hold ourselves. And I say we, meaning myself too. You know what I mean? I want people to hold me to a higher. And that's partly why I do these videos, is because it forces me to hold myself to a higher standard. When I put this out there, now I have to maintain a level of decency, a level of sincerity, a level of love. But I will say that, and I hope, I hope it didn't offend anyone. It may offend people, and my bad if it did. But when I get people like Vino or quote unquote trolls who it becomes clear that they're not interested in listening or genuinely, sincerely communicating, then I just block people. You know what I mean? And it's just the easiest way for me to continue because I can't give my energy to that because I start getting negative too, and my to play, and then I start getting real sarcastic, and I can do that. I can play that game very well, but that doesn't help me. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help the people. So I do my best to stay away from that kind of energy. So if I blocked you, you know what I mean? It's not because I hate you or because, you're just some negative, I'm just so mad. I just don't want to deal with that energy. So I'm just, and just keep going. Right. Nationwide elections. Oh man, let me say that and let me get off because I got to get something to eat. But yes, nationwide elections. We need, and yes, yes. I ain't even got to put no more on that. Absolutely. Nationwide discussions, nationwide elections, because that's how things work as a nation. Oh my God. Oh my God. I think that's it. I think that is it today, ladies and gentlemen. I think, yeah, I think we're going to do that. Oh. I like that one. I like that one. Yeah, we're going to pass on that one. We're going to pass on that. I know we're going to read that one. I felt too good about that one. This is chapter 9. Jesus attends a feast in Bahar, and here he taught human equality. His chapter, the Quran, Surah 7. Reading this and get him out of here. It's very, very important. The sin, no, I ain't even going to start there. The pure in heart do not accuse. The vile in heart who want to cover up their guilt with holy smoke and piety are never loathing drunkards, thieves, and courtesans. This loathing and this scorn is mockery. For if the tinsel coat of reputation could be torn away, the loud professor would be found to reveal in his lust, deceit, and many forms of secret sin. Key, here we come. The man who spends his time in pulling other people's weeds can have no time in pulling his own. And the choicest flowers of life will be choked and die. And nothing will remain but darnel, thistles, and burrs. To me, other people's weeds is criticizing other organizations, the NOI, the Hebrew Israelites, the Hoteps, the Kemetans, Christians, atheists, any other organizations, the NAACP, you name it. When we are spending too much time pulling other people's weeds, other organizations' weeds, other nations' weeds, then we don't have any time to pull our own weeds, our own Moorish American weeds. And the choicest flowers of the Moorish American life, like the Moorish Science Temple of America, will be choked and die, and nothing will remain but darnel, thistles, and burrs. When we don't work on our own garden and making sure that our temple, the walls are clean, you know what I mean? The garden is watered and trimmed. It's beautiful outside. You know, picked up any trash in the front, washed the dishes. You know what I mean? Hit that vacuum, mop. If we not doing all of that, and we too busy focused on what everybody else is doing, then we will have the conditions that we have now. So we got to focus on ourselves. It's the word. It's the beautiful brother Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror. Just go listen to the song, ladies and gentlemen. Prophetic, man. Want to make a change. All right. Or woman, because we're talking about human beings, not just men, but women also. You know what I mean? Much love. Any other questions before I get up out of here? Oh, man. Glad I checked that. Yeah. No, she has been released. She has been released. Yes, indeed. But still go do the studying. But before I go, Marcus Hopkins, can you do a show for folks like me that don't know a thing about Moors but are interested? Yes. Yes, I can. Man, that may be the next class. It'll be something like I don't know a thing about Moors. Help me out. You know what I mean? So just stay on the lookout for that. Because that's key also. Thank you for that question. And thank you for watching. In the meantime, between time, you can email me at iamhhtemple@gmail.com. But I will also urge for you to read man, I don't yeah. Yeah, I would encourage you to read, if you can, get this. The Golden Age of the Moors. I don't know if you can see that. The Golden Age of the Moors is edited by Ivan Van Sertima. That would be a good one. 77 Amazing Facts About Moors. That's one that I co-wrote. I try not to promote that one too much because I don't want it to feel like, oh, you want to know about Moors? Why? What do you know? You know what I mean? I don't want it to come off like that. But that book is good in terms of just pointing out some facts throughout history of Moors, so that you understand it's not just some religious thing, or not just some small movement or some doctrine like the nation of, I don't want to say small in that sense, but you know, it's much bigger. It's about identity and not necessarily an organization. But yeah, thank you. Much love. Keep shining. Keep studying. Please study the Moorish literature. Just Google it. It's called Moorish, man, moorishkingdom.tripod.com, I think is the name of the website. But if you just Google Moorish literature, it'll pop up, and please read that, because it has things like, especially from Marcus, divine warning by the prophet. It has the history of the Moorish Science Temple of America. What is Islam? The Moorish leader's historical message to America, where basically he breaks it all down. Economics, it talks about economics in here. So go seek that out. But if nothing else, please read this. And do not read it in a sense that this is just some new Bible or some religious text, because that is very limited in terms of the perspective. This is a holy book, but it also is a book of history. It has law. It has universal truth in here that goes beyond Noble Drew Ali or Jesus or Muhammad, and it applies to all people universally. So read this. Holy Quran, Circle 7, the Moorish Science Temple of America, or the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. Thank you. I got to get something to eat now. I'm hungry. Yeah, that's all I got. Till next time. Peace and love.